Hi guys, it's Carlo here from Sydney, Australia, and today we're going to make a speaker lead. Hopefully you've watched the other demo on what the difference is between a speaker lead and a guitar lead, so I can move straight on. That is, once again, that is a guitar lead, and I'm just about to show you what a speaker lead should look like. I'm actually going to splice this lead because you can't see what's inside it. Now this should have two conductors in it, a black and a red. That's pretty cool. So there you go. We've got a black and a red. See the difference? Guitar lead, speaker lead. All right, so we'll move on straight to the speaker lead. Okay, so by now you're all prepared. You've got your cutters, you've got your soldering iron, you've got your cable that you want to fix or repair or make, and you've got your plug. Today we're just going to do a jack-to-jack speaker lead. Okay, so firstly, here's the plug. Moving right along. Okay, that's the positive, that's the negative. If we're looking at the front of the plug, that's the positive, that's the negative. Moving on, let's have a look at this lead before we cut it up any further. Now, that lead has to actually go through that hole, and the red cable's got to go on the top, and the black one's got to go on the bottom. Okay, so we actually have to cut those. So let's try and do this all at once so you can see what I'm doing here. If you can see what I'm about to do, I'm going to cut I'm leaving it a little bit longer so I can splice it. That one's got to go to the top. So I'm going to cut that off. And the black one's got to go on the bottom, and I'm going to make it just a little bit shorter, not too much shorter. Okay, so at the moment that's what my speaker cable's looking like before I splice it. Here we go. You're probably best snip it a little bit around the edge of the plastic first. If you've been doing it for years, you could probably just do it like that and just twist it. It's all okay there. Okay, now we've got our solder prepared. Once again, we're going to tin everything and put solder on it, so when it comes to actually putting the cable onto the plug, we won't need some solder. We'll do it all prior. Moving right along, here's the positive. We're going to use the red as the positive and the black as the negative. Whatever colour you use on one side, it's really irrelevant as long as the same colour goes to the tip and the same colour goes to the sleeve on the opposite side. Okay, so making it nice and easy, red is positive, black is negative. Let's tin them. You're watching here. Okay, and do the red one. How cool is that? Now, I might just, for the sake of this exercise, just snip them off a little bit. So it's looking a bit like that. Okay, moving along. Don't forget, put the cover on with the plug. So there you go, you got the cover on. Next bit, don't forget the plastic shielding. We'll put that on. Now just put that aside for a sec. Now let's grab the plug and do what we did last time, and that's we're tinning the plug. We're going to put some solder on it so we don't have to use too much later. I'm just starting to heat it up a little bit. Grab the solder, put it on there. We've got Qantas arriving any second now to check us out making plugs. I hope you might be able to hear that aeroplane in the background. Here we go. So how's that? We've got a nice lump of solder on the earth and a nice lump of solder there on the tip, which is the positive. Okay. I'm just going to open up this back section just a fraction, just so I can get the cable through. That there. Slide the cable through. Once again, see that? We're sliding the cable through that bit. And have a look there. Wow. Usually you stuff up things when you're doing it on camera, but this seems to be working okay today. So they're the perfect lengths. As you can see, they don't need too much. All they need is a little bit of heat, and we're going to be able to solder those two onto there. Here we go. Can you guys see that okay? If I do that like that, we're going to put the earth on first, down the bottom. Heat that up first and put that on there. Just squash it down. How cool's that? That's pretty cool. That joint. It's nice and shiny. I'd probably put a little bit more solder on that one, just to be on the safe side. So I'm not liking the look of it on this side, so let's just go and put a little bit more solder on that. Moving that out of the way. Once again, it's just moved a little bit. Here we go. That's better. Okay, so that's a nice solder joint there on the earth. Now bending that up a little bit. Keep in mind, don't burn yourself, because by this stage the earth part is pretty hot. Moving it so it's actually nearly in position before I start soldering. Heat that up, put that on there, and Bob's your speaker's lead, or Bob's your uncle. There you go. So we've got the positive going to the tip, and the negative going here to the sleeve. Once again, being a speaker lead, I would probably do that same thing I did on the guitar lead. Just insulate the earth from the positive just by putting a little bit of insulation tape through the middle there.
Yep.
Good. Okay, I'm just going to snip that off. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, long nose pliers again. We're going to tighten this lead up so it doesn't. So if it does cop a bit of jerking here, this part, it's not going to pull off. There, and you just close that up nice and tight. Then hopefully you haven't forgotten to put on the plastic shielding for the positive. And once again, then you put the cap on. That's going to protect it all. And there's your speaker lead plug made. Now, once again, let's just confirm that this one works. Well, without plugging your head into a box. So what I'm going to do is just splice the other side so you can see quickly. And we should have the red wire on this side going to the tip. There we go. So there's your red and black. We'll just quickly take that off. Quickly take that off. Grab your multimeter. Stick it on the continuity, or make sure it goes all the way over to a short. Okay, we're touching the top of the plug with one lead, and if we touch the red cable, that means we're in business. There you go. So that's joined, and the black should be going to earth. There you go. We don't have a short because I'm on the tip there, and I'm on the black, and we don't have any sort of noise. As soon as we touch the earth. Now, keeping in mind, the earth is also connected to the chassis. See that? I'm touching the plug there, and because the plug is joined there, all that earth, that's the whole earth section of the plug. So double checking, and do the last check to make sure that that and that are not joined together, and that speaker lead's ready to go. Now, whether that needs another jack plug on the back, or it just connects bare wires to the back of the amplifier, or you need to put a cannon on that, that gets you started anyway, so at least you know how to wire up your speaker lead. Guys, look after yourselves, and thank you for watching. I'm Carlo from Downtown Music here in Sydney, Australia. Cheers.